Is this on? And always
Is this
look,
still on?
always look. Hey everybody, it's Cynthia with Global Traveler Lifestyle. I'm here with my awesome friend Sarah at her casitas here in Coronado, and we are having lots of activity here for Saturday morning. We've got the gardener, we've got some guests, we've got birds and helicopters and all kinds of things going on while we're trying to do our interview. She has traveled for a lot of years and has a lot of good information and stories to tell, so I wanted to share a little bit about what she does when she's out and about in the globe.
Thanks, Cynthia. Hi, everybody. And Cynthia, welcome back to my home in my casitas. Long time no see. We are in Panama. I've lived here 14 years or so in the country. I now live in Coronado, where I have some rental casitas in my home. Love it here. It's like traveling without going anywhere. I have so many international guests stay, and we share a lot of travel stories. Really, my history is travel. Since I left high school at 18, that's all I've been doing. So with this particular location and my awesome business, I really created it around my passion for traveling. So in the lower season, I'm able to get away, and I often go to Asia and Europe, and Panama being such a great hub. I've seen most of South America. Amazing. Learn a little bit of Spanish, your world just opens right up. I think one of the reasons why Cynthia wanted to chat with me is I'm a solo traveler for many, many years, and I think a lot of women are nervous or afraid, and it's just the most amazing thing. If you love travel and you love cultures and you want to meet local people and engage and learn about traditions and food and all the wonderful things about every country, it's amazing when you travel alone how many people you meet, and you get invited to dinner in people's homes, and you're able to give a lot and give advice. I often travel with Airbnb, which I'm a super host with Airbnb, and I tend to put in those filters when I travel, and I look for other super hosts around the world, and they're generally people that will take me out and show me the street food and show me how their society and village is working, and introduce me to their friends and family, and that's what it is for me.
Thanks, Sarah. Such great information that you have. And let me ask you, what is one of the biggest challenges, or maybe more than one challenge, that you find when you're out there traveling the globe?
Is how I balance my work, which I do work online overseas as a digital nomad, and running around trying to see everything in one place, which of course I'm so entirely curious that I want to see everything. In my 20s, I mostly did do that. Now I really need to carve out a little bit of a routine where I try to get up around the same time and take a nice walk, and I'll find a cafe, have breakfast, coffee, check my emails, deal with business, and then I'll explore a little bit. I might then take 3 or 4 days to go visit a volcano or a jungle and go on a trek. So I do balance it out more now. I think to have a place like Bali, I really kind of always revert back to Bali because it is so spiritual and relaxing, and I do need that after my high season. But then I get bored because I want to see everything and do everything. So for me, that's a great base. I really chill out there and get healthy and drink a lot of smoothies and eat green food, and then fly off to Borneo and go watch some turtles being hatched, and visit with the orangutans and the proboscis monkeys, and do that for a few days, and then I'll go chill again for a few days, catch up on my work. So I think it's good to think about that a little bit in advance when you are working and traveling. It's one thing if you're retired, you can do whatever you want, but in my case, I do have to give it some thought and really carve out my day in a way that I can be spontaneous but still responsible for my clients, and make sure everybody's looked after. And I've still got clients staying here and airport pickup, so 2 in the afternoon, which would be 2 in the morning Bali, I'm waking up and I'm calling folks that are with my driver coming from the airport and welcoming them to Panama, and that's my priority. So again, always strong Wi-Fi is a bonus, not a bonus, but it's a necessity. So yeah, I think that the balancing is very important. I would say the occasional loneliness. I definitely engage and meet locals and other travelers, but the loneliness will set in once in a while, especially if you're a little under the weather. Then it kind of feels like the end of the world sometimes, but it only lasts maybe a day. Thank God for internet and social media. I was talking earlier about some of the filters I put into my accommodation searches, say Airbnb. I look for superhouse. I always look for good Wi-Fi. It doesn't matter if I mostly travel in third world countries, but internet is prevalent all over the world, and for me that is number one. I'm still running a business when I'm away. I want to be able to WhatsApp and Facebook my girlfriends. I want to be able to connect with other expats. My priority is meeting the locals, but hey, we're human. We need our tribe too, and especially when you're feeling a little low or tired, you've been running around the globe, or you get a little sick or something. There's so many awesome outlets. I usually, before I go, but often not because I'm usually traveling last minute and I don't know where I'm going, but when I get to a place, I will go on Facebook and find a local community Facebook page. Like we have All Things Coronado, Expats in Panama, that I'm very active on, helping people with questions. I ask my own questions a lot. We always welcome people into this community, and it's so great to see their messages, and they're looking for somebody to have coffee with. Well, I do the same when I'm traveling. I look at expats in Ubud or in Bali or in Thailand or wherever I am. And Penang, Malaysia, last year there was a coffee group. I met a bunch of folks for coffee, and it was interesting for me because most of them were expats living there. So you get a whole nother side of what it's like to live in a different country and as an expat. There's my gardener. Hi, Jose. Yeah, so it's definitely, if you get a little bug or something, you feel like it's the end of the world, but after a few hours you can connect with your tribe and your girlfriends, and it's okay. It's okay. Here comes Mr. Byrne in his helicopter. Hola, Jose.
Sarah, you've got so many years of great experience all over the world. What is some insight that maybe you could share with us, or something that you think would be really important that the folks look for when they're out and about in the globe?
Well, I have quite a few depending on the subject. Definitely travel light. I have never heard anybody in all my 30 plus years of traveling say, I wish I would have brought more stuff. You never hear that. You only hear the opposite. It's funny, when I travel somewhere for a week around Panama, I tend to pack a big suitcase because I don't know what I'm going to need or whatever, but I'll go for 5 months with a carry-on and be absolutely fine. There's always laundry. Often it's great to discard your clothes, give them to the maid. You want to buy something from that country. Traveling light is absolutely key. If you bring too much stuff, you are going to be stressed. If you're jumping on and off boats and planes and trains and automobiles, got to travel with a carry-on. And there's, I YouTube and TripAdvisor, all that kind of stuff, and kind of find the best of the best, because it's your one piece of equipment, and your good computer, your computer equipment. I have a great backpack for that, and then one little carry-on with clothes. I pack for 4 days. That's my rule. I pack for 4 days and it lasts 4 months. So I'd say that's my number one tip. For solo women travelers, which I think is a lot of what we're talking about today, there actually are some really great Facebook groups that I've joined even recently. Solo Women Travelers is one. There's 3 of them that I'm on, and what an incredible support system. And these ladies are traveling all over the globe, some for the very first time, others for years, others maybe just have gone through a health scare or a divorce, or they're just travelers, whatever it is. But we always have that one thing in common, and it doesn't matter where they come from or how old they are, we just instantly have a bond. So Cynthia and I were just talking earlier, and she saw something on Facebook where a lady was somewhere in Asia and in the hospital, and her friend was like, oh, my friend, she's by herself and there's nobody around, and the next picture was like 3 ladies with her in a photo on Facebook from these Facebook pages. So it really is, there's such a support system, so you just never feel alone. I personally like spending time on my own. I'm very busy here in Panama in the high season. I have casita rentals on my property, which I love. I meet amazing, interesting people from all over the world. But let's face it, by April, May, I'm a little I'm a little burnt out. I just want to like do my own thing and maybe not talk to somebody for a whole entire day. So I appreciate that, but I'm definitely a social being. So that lasts about a day, and then I'm just in there and I'm meeting people in coffee shops and restaurants, and I have no problem taking myself out for dinner. I appreciate food. It's not I don't feel like people are looking at me going, oh, poor girl, she's eating by herself. I feel like, wow, am I so blessed to be in this amazing restaurant in this amazing country and trying all this cool, interesting food that I've never had before. And I have my phone with me and I'm on Facebook with my friends. So, you know, it always works out.
Sarah, such great advice for all of us out there. And I know the loneliness thing or the sick thing or just trying to find your tribe when you're traveling can be very, very difficult. Thank goodness, even though a lot of folks don't like social media, it sure is a portal for us to be able to stay connected. So thank you for sharing all the cool things that you do and sharing your garden and your pool with me this morning. It's been a lot of fun, and I look forward to seeing you around town and hanging out a little bit more, maybe with some margaritas or some tequila sunrises. So we'll chat with you all soon. This global traveler lifestyle interview is so difficult.